Hello and welcome to my channel. By popular demand, and with that I mean Mr. Sekoser, sorry. I'm gonna break down my mixing procedure of my last video that I did. Huge major disclaimer. I don't know shit if it comes to mixing. This is stuff that I've seen that I've tried to incorporate that I'm not sure if it's the right way to do, but it's just the way I'm doing it, or I've been doing it for the last 2 or 3 times. If you go back maybe 4 or 5 videos, you already will hear a huge difference in sound. And one thing I can tell you already is the thing that changed the sound of my mixes the most is actually something called parallel compression. I can show you quickly what it is. Anyway, what I have going on here, if we check out my Cubase session, you see I have the drums, routed in Cubase like this, just like Nolly and Misha say you should route their drums because I'm using their stuff. So I use the Get Good Drums P5 drum library. If we check the faders, they're all just set in the middle. I just took them down a bit because it was running too hot. But if we just listen to these, already great in my opinion. All right. But what I want to show you is, as you see, these are all bypassed. What we have going on here is actually this one. So I'm sending these to group tracks that I created. Also was an advice from Nolly or Misha or both of them. They all get into these group tracks, and then I actually mix the drums using these faders. So if we listen to the same thing again, I will now unmute some of the group tracks. You see, this is just the kick, the snare, toms, but I don't use toms in here, and then the room. Ugh, fucking disgusting China. Anyway, additional to that, we have something called parallel compression. Listening to it without anything else doesn't make any big difference. We can just hear how it sounds. It generally just makes things seem louder. But if we add all the other stuff in it, then it gets crazy. Anyway, in these group tracks, I have the Smash and Grab plugin, also from GGD, set to the stuff that Nolly and Misha mentioned in their how-to video. So it's just the kick goes to the kick, the toms to the tom, room. It's pretty self-explanatory. And I didn't move a lot of the faders or a lot of the knobs here. I just have them pretty standard. And then on all of the group tracks, I also have the frequencies. So for example, in the kick, I take a bit the high frequencies away, a couple of dips in here and in here. The snare looks like this. I take the low end away, just a couple of dips here and here, and also I give a bit of high frequencies just so it sounds a bit airier. The toms don't even matter right now because I don't have any toms here. And then for the room, I have a big dip around 200 hertz and a bit of, high frequencies also, because I like if it sounds a bit airy and crisp. I also think sometimes, or my old mixes sounded a bit dull, and actually this is where the magic happens. This is, again, huge disclaimer. I don't know shit, but just, trial and error. I think this frequency range is where the crispiness happen, at least in my opinion. All right, and then we have for the parallel compression, it's just the smash and grab again, but it's as far as I know, it's set a bit hard. Let's see what happens. Yeah, you see. If we check, for example, the kick, I think 1 or 2 dB is where it should be usually. But in parallel compression, you can just compress the fuck out of it because you control on how much of the compression you give into the mix with this fader here. So when everything is going on, you can just say how much compression you want to add. So that's the thing that improved my mixes overall. That's it for the drums. It sounds like this again. All right, so then let's go to the bass. For bass, I use Eurobass 3 in DI mode. You can also use the distortion and stuff from here. I use parallax in this setting. It's called Buri Disgust. I think I used a preset from someone and then just changed just changed a couple of little things here and there. So I called it Buri Disgust, and this sounds like this. That will be the DI. And then I also added a frequency band. What's the name of this, man? Frequency stuff thingy. Anyway, here a little bit of a dip here around 100 hertz because of the kick. So the kick has space. A dip in 1K because of the guitars. And then also all that high-end fizzy stuff, which I don't need. And then all together sounds like this. The bass, sorry. With the drums. Great. Now let's get to the juiciest part, the guitars. What I have is actually a lot of guitar tracks, as you can see. These two are just normal guitar rhythm tracks. These are the same guitar tracks but added with a low and a high octave together. And this is just the low, 100% low. So these sound like this. Then we can check these. And then the beast. And then I have these going on top of it. Okay, let's go into the things that I did to those. As you can see, it's only frequency stuff. So for the guitars, always the same. Low end and high end, cutting the low and high end. High shelf, low shelf, no, low pass, high pass. All these terms, you know what I mean. This is the same for these two. Then we have a tiny bit of a different one because it's with octaves. And then the beast sounds like this, or it looks like this. Also a bit of a dip, and then I added a tiny bit of high end here, high frequency, and then cut off the rest. And these, like I said, sound like this. Okay. A lot of cut a lot of the low end out because I don't need it. Okay, and then the last part is the stereo out. So if I take away everything I did there, it sounds like this. I don't know if you can hear the difference, but it's very tiny. So what I have in the frequency in the stereo out is just a tiny bump in the kick area because I like if the kick is punchy. Bit of a dip in 1K area because of the guitars, and also the magic thing that I said in the high frequencies, just a high shelf around 10K, and then just a tiny bit of air. And then we have the SSL channel. I don't even know what I did here. I think a bit of high and mid frequency I added. Then we have the compression, vintage compressor. Just compressing around 2 dB again. Then we will be actually done, but because as you know, you can't release anything that's just not loud enough. So I have a limiter and then a maximizer, so the stuff gets loud enough. So then without the maximizer, we're here, and with, just adds a little bit of volume. Yeah, I think that's it. There's not much else that I did. Oh yeah, in the beginning I have This riff just hits too fucking hard, man. Anyway, thank you for watching. It's the first time I'm trying this. It's also the first time I routed the Cubase audio into the Steam Labs, and I hope everything worked. This will be the first test that I'm doing. Also, Sekoser, dude, with the name that I'm butchering. I hope this explains a bit of my process to you. For everyone else, feel free to ask me questions on how to do things. I will answer it to the best of my ability. And I will probably give you the wrong answers, but doesn't matter. We're here to have fun. Thank you, and see you next time. Peace out.